Have you ever felt betrayed by someone you trusted, like they ripped out a part of your soul and left you broken? That moment when the mask slips and you see the real person underneath, it's painful, but it's also a turning point. In this video, we'll explore the lessons behind betrayal, the quiet power of karma, and how these difficult experiences can ultimately lead to personal growth and healing. By the end, you'll discover why facing life's harshest moments is the key to unlocking your true strength. Stay with me until the end, because we're diving deep into the life-changing wisdom that will shift how you see yourself and those around you. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means a lot, so if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Sweetheart, betrayal is like swallowing a bitter pill. At first, it's hard to accept. The bitterness lingers in your mouth, but eventually, it forces you to wake up and see things as they truly are. It's not a reflection of you, but rather a reflection of the one who hurt you. When someone betrays your trust, don't let it crush your spirit. Instead, recognize that their actions are showing you what kind of person they truly are, and they are also revealing what kind of behavior you should never allow into your life again. In a way, betrayal is like a backhanded gift, painful in the moment but essential for your growth. And karma, darling, karma is like a wise elder who sits quietly, waiting for the perfect moment to deliver justice. She may not always act as quickly as we want her to, but rest assured, she never misses her mark. Don't spend your precious time and energy plotting revenge. It's simply not worth it. Why focus on the person who wronged you when the universe has already set things in motion? Karma will serve them their due when the time is right, and believe me, she has a way of delivering justice that is far more satisfying than anything you could plan yourself. Facing life's challenges is like cooking a complicated dish. At first, everything seems chaotic, ingredients scattered everywhere, nothing makes sense, and the recipe looks impossible. But if you give it time, if you're patient, everything begins to come together, each ingredient blending perfectly into something rich and flavorful. Life is exactly like that. Every problem, every failure, is just another ingredient in the recipe of your life. If you've stumbled or fallen, don't lose heart. Falling isn't the end, it's part of the journey. In fact, falling is proof that you're trying, that you're alive, and that you're still fighting to make something beautiful out of all the messiness. Hypocrisy is a lot like wearing a mask. At first glance, the mask may look flawless, but masks always crack. Sooner or later, the truth slips through, and everyone can see the real face behind the facade. Hypocrites can be everywhere, blending into the background until they make their move, like nails scattered on the road, invisible until you step on one and it pricks you. But don't be disillusioned. Those moments of pain are simply reminders that not everyone is who they claim to be. Once the mask falls, you'll realize who deserves to be in your life and who doesn't. Forgiveness, my dear, is like dropping a heavy stone you've been carrying for far too long. The stone isn't hurting the person who hurt you, it's only weighing you down. Letting go of that burden frees you, lightens your spirit, and allows you to move forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, though. Remembering is important. It keeps you aware and protects you from future hurt. But forgiveness, that's for your peace. It's for your heart to heal, for your soul to grow, and for you to reclaim your joy. Don't forgive to free them, do it to free yourself. Motivation, oh darling, motivation is like the sun breaking through a cloudy sky. Sometimes it feels far away, hidden behind layers of doubt and fatigue. But when it shines, it lights up your whole world. If you feel like you're losing motivation, remember that even the tiniest steps forward are still progress. You don't have to be fast, you just have to keep moving. A turtle may be slow, but it doesn't stop moving, and eventually, it reaches its destination. The same goes for you. Stay focused on your path, no matter how long it takes, because every little step brings you closer to the finish line. Life may throw all sorts of obstacles your way, betrayal, failure, hypocrisy, but none of it defines you. What defines you is how you rise, how you forgive, how you continue to move forward even when everything feels like it's falling apart. Envy is the silent scream of those who feel left behind, the poison that fills the hearts of people too afraid to chase their own dreams. It's like taking in someone else's venom, a bitter pill that only hurts the one who swallows it. When people envy you, it's a sign that they see something in you they desperately crave but lack the courage or determination to pursue. Don't let their jealousy get under your skin. Instead, see it for what it is, a reflection of their own insecurities and mediocrity. It's their hangover to endure, not yours. You are living your truth, and their envy is simply a byproduct of your success. They may try to project their negativity onto you, but remember, envy always hurts the one who feels it, not the one who is envied. Now love. Oh, love is a mystery, much like a well-aged bottle of wine. It can be intoxicating, sweet, and enriching, but only if it's carefully nurtured over time. Just as wine can spoil when ignored, love too can turn sour if it's neglected or taken for granted. It's a delicate balance, requiring patience, tenderness, and mutual effort. The idea of love at first sight may sound romantic, but it's often nothing more than an illusion, a fleeting glimpse of what could be rather than what truly is. The real beauty of love lies not in the initial spark, but in the deep connection that grows over time, through shared experiences, struggles, and triumphs. True love is not just a feeling, it's a commitment to work together through the highs and the lows. It's a constant journey of growth, and without care, even the strongest love can wither. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. As for friendships, they are like constellations in the night sky. Sometimes life storms may cloud your view, but real friends are always there, shining even when you can't see them. True friends aren't measured by the number of texts or how often you meet, but by their unwavering presence when you need them most. If you find yourself surrounded by people who fade away in your darkest moments, it may be time to reconsider who you're calling a friend. The number of friends you have doesn't matter. What matters is their quality. If your circle feels empty despite being large, don't be afraid to let go of those who don't truly support you. Like changing an old worn-out pair of shoes, sometimes you need to find a better fit. People who walk with you through life's toughest terrain. Real friends are rare and precious, like those few bright stars that light up the darkest skies. And family. Family is one of life's great contradictions. They are supposed to be your foundation, but sometimes they can feel more like quicksand, dragging you down when you least expect it. Family is like a bowl of soup, filled with flavors you didn't choose, and sometimes it's just too much to handle. You can't pick your family, and sometimes that means dealing with difficult dynamics, but the beauty is that you can choose how to navigate those relationships. You may not be able to change the people you're related to, but you can decide when to step back and when to engage. Just because they're family doesn't mean you owe them unlimited access to your time, energy, or peace of mind. Boundaries are essential. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to step away from a family dynamic that has become too toxic. In the end, whether it's envy, love, friendship, or family, the key is to protect your peace. People will envy you, relationships will test you, and family will challenge you. But you have the power to decide how much space you allow these things to occupy in your life. Keep your heart open but guarded, and know that the relationships worth keeping are the ones that help you grow, not the ones that weigh you down. Why bother with hard work when there's always an easier way out? They say hard work never killed anyone, but why risk it when life offers other options? Working as a team is not just about collaboration, it's also about delegation. Sometimes, it means letting others handle the heavy lifting while you appear productive, subtly blending in as you let them shoulder the weight. After all, being busy doesn't always mean you're working hard. It can mean you're just good at playing the part. Now, when people say money doesn't buy happiness, they're clearly speaking from a place of comfort. Because honestly, have you ever tried being happy without a dime in your pocket? Sure, money might not buy deep, lasting joy, but it certainly makes the ride smoother and life more comfortable. There's peace in knowing you have enough to cover life's essentials, and a little extra for the pleasures. Saving, on the other hand, is like trying to stick to just one square of chocolate when you really want the whole bar. You know it's smart and beneficial in the long run, but the craving for more is always there. Once you start saving, it's hard to stop wanting more security, more stability, more of that sweet cushion of wealth. Health, oh how we take it for granted. It's like time, fleeting, precious, and unnoticed until it's slipping through your grasp. You don't think about your health when you feel good. It's only when you're sick that you start to realize how priceless it really is. Suddenly, nothing matters more than getting it back. People say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but who are we kidding? A piece of cake here and there may not be doctor approved, but it sure makes life more enjoyable. Sometimes, indulging in the sweetness of life, in moderation, is what brings balance and joy. Time, on the other hand, is the most cunning thief of all. It slips by so quietly that you hardly notice it's gone until it's too late to reclaim it. Time is like a bad haircut. You don't realize just how much of a mistake you're making until you look in the mirror and the damage is done. Wasting time feels harmless in the moment, but its consequences are glaringly obvious down the road. Before you know it, the days, months, and years have passed, and you're left wondering where it all went. Wisdom supposedly comes with age, but let's be real, sometimes age arrives all by itself, leaving wisdom far behind. Growing older doesn't necessarily make you wiser, it just means you've been around longer. True wisdom isn't about having all the answers, it's about knowing when to keep your mouth shut. The wisest people aren't those who talk the most, they're the ones who listen, observe, and understand that silence often speaks louder than words. Happiness isn't found in having every single thing you desire, but in learning to enjoy what you already have. It's not about chasing the next big thing, but about savoring the little moments that make life meaningful. Happiness is like a butterfly. If you frantically chase after it, it will constantly evade you. But if you're patient, if you live in the moment and stop focusing on what you lack, it might gently land on your shoulder when you least expect it. Happiness, true happiness, is found in the stillness, in appreciating what's right in front of you, not in the relentless pursuit of more. True love, despite what fairy tales might have us believe, isn't something that just appears fully formed. It's not something you find, like a treasure chest waiting to be discovered. Instead, it's built, piece by piece, day by day. If you sit around waiting for the perfect version of love to come to you, you'll end up like a cactus in the desert, alone, surrounded by thorns, and waiting endlessly for something that won't come unless you're willing to put in the effort. Love is messy, imperfect, and requires patience and understanding to grow. If you're waiting for it to arrive polished and flawless, you'll be waiting forever. And let's not forget about karma. It's a force as reliable as gravity. Karma is like that boomerang you think you've thrown far out into the distance, only to have it come whipping back around when you least expect it. It's like your grandmother's favorite piece of advice, steadfast, inevitable, and always circling back to teach you a lesson. Be careful with what you send out into the world, because sooner or later, it will come back to you, sometimes with more force than you anticipated. Overcoming life's obstacles, though, is a slow, deliberate process, much like knitting a scarf. At first, it seems tedious, each stitch feeling like a small, insignificant effort. But with time and persistence, those stitches come together to form something warm, comforting, and protective. Each challenge you face, every setback you overcome, is like adding another stitch to that scarf. Eventually, it becomes a source of strength, something you can wrap around yourself to shield against the cold winds of life. It's not about quick fixes or shortcuts, it's about the patience to keep going one step, one stitch at a time, until you've created something that will last through even the harshest seasons. Hypocrisy is like wearing a mask that starts to slip over time. At first, you might be able to fool everyone around you, walking through life with this carefully crafted image of yourself. But eventually, the mask becomes too heavy to hold up. The truth, like a stubborn stain, starts to show through, and people begin to see the real you beneath all the pretenses. It's like wearing clothes that are filthy underneath but hidden by a fancy coat. You might keep it covered for a while, but the dirt always finds a way to seep out. In the end, it's not just others who notice, but you too start to feel the discomfort. Hypocrisy may serve you in the short term, but the weight of living a lie always catches up with you. The truth has a way of surfacing, no matter how deeply you try to bury it. Forgiveness is not about condoning the wrongs done to you. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks, each one representing a grudge or hurt you've been holding on to. The longer you carry it, the more it drags you down, making every step harder. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you're saying their actions were right, or that they don't deserve consequences. It's about deciding that you deserve better than to carry their burden anymore. By letting go, you reclaim your peace and energy, allowing yourself to move forward without the weight of someone else's mistakes holding you back. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's the key to unlocking your own happiness, a reminder that your life is too valuable to be weighed down by someone else's foolishness. Motivation is like starting a cold car on a winter morning. It takes a little extra effort to get it going, but once it's warmed up, it powers you through even the toughest roads. That initial push might feel daunting, like dragging yourself out of bed when all you want is to stay wrapped in the comfort of doing nothing. But once you take that first step, the momentum builds, and before you know it, you're in motion, tackling tasks you once dreaded. Motivation often feels elusive, but it's not something you wait for, it's something you create. It's like fueling your engine with purpose, knowing that without that spark, you'll never move forward. Even on days when the fire seems dim, that small effort to push through can lead to something remarkable. Envy is the silent acknowledgement that you're doing something extraordinary. It's the green-eyed reaction of people who see in you what they wish they had in themselves. When someone envies you, they're really saying, "I wish I had your courage, your ideas, your success." Envy, at its core, is a tribute to excellence, though it often comes in the form of resentment or bitterness. If someone envies you, take it as a sign that you're on the right path. They see something in you that they either can't or won't achieve, and instead of celebrating your success, they let their own insecurities turn into jealousy. Don't let their envy bring you down. Let it be fuel to keep climbing higher. After all, if people aren't talking about you, you're probably not making waves. Love is much like tending a delicate flower. You can't overwater it, or it'll drown, but you can't leave it thirsty either, or it'll wilt and die. Love requires balance. It needs nurturing, care, and patience, but it also needs space to breathe and grow. Smothering someone with attention might feel like love, but too much pressure can stifle the relationship, leaving no room for growth. On the other hand, neglecting love, thinking it will thrive on its own, leads to its slow decay. Like any living thing, love requires effort, but it also needs trust. You have to trust that with the right amount of care, it will bloom into something beautiful. But if you neglect it or overdo it, you'll be left with nothing but an empty pot, wondering why the relationship withered away. Love is a balance of giving and receiving, of being present but not overbearing, of nurturing but not controlling. And karma, well, karma is like planting seeds. Every action you take, every word you say, is a seed you're planting in the universe. Some seeds grow quickly, while others take time to bloom, but rest assured, they all grow. Karma is the boomerang of life. You throw it out into the world, and eventually, it circles back to you. It's not always immediate, but it's inevitable. If you plant seeds of kindness, they will eventually bear fruit in your life. But if you plant seeds of harm, don't be surprised when the weeds of consequence sprout up. Karma is patient, and it never forgets. It might take its time, but it always delivers what you've earned. So be mindful of what you send out into the world, because it's coming back to you, one way or another. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Overcoming obstacles is like building a strong bridge, brick by brick, with patience and persistence. At first, the challenge may seem overwhelming, like standing in front of a mountain with nothing but your own two hands to climb it. But every small effort, every bit of progress, adds up. Over time, you start to see the fruits of your labor, and the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones. It's like knitting a scarf. Each stitch feels insignificant on its own, but as you keep going, you start to see the pattern forming, something beautiful and protective. The obstacles we face in life are not meant to break us. They're meant to shape us into stronger, more resilient people. With time, patience, and perseverance, you'll find that every hurdle you overcome is building a foundation that will carry you through life's toughest moments. True friendships are like rare gemstones, genuine, resilient, and priceless. They may be hard to find, but once you have them, they shine through even the darkest times. These friends don't just show up when life is easy. They're the ones who stand by your side when things fall apart, offering their unwavering support without hesitation. A true friend doesn't have to be loud about their loyalty. You just know they're there, steady as a rock. In contrast, fake friendships are like those cheap, glittery accessories you pick up on a whim. They may catch your eye at first, but they quickly lose their luster. They shine brightly in the beginning, but when the going gets tough, they break under the slightest pressure, revealing their lack of substance. They're the kind of people who vanish when you're in need, only to resurface when they have something to gain. It's these moments of hardship that separate the real from the fake, the gems from the cheap imitations. Don't mourn the loss of those superficial connections. Celebrate the value of the few true friends you have, for they are worth more than all the glitter in the world. Family, well, that's its own complex recipe. Family is like a stew that's been simmering for years, filled with all sorts of ingredients, some sweet, some savory, and sometimes a bit of bitterness mixed in. If you're not careful, that stew can boil over, creating chaos and spilling all over the place. Family relationships can be like that too, comforting at times, but also prone to tension and messiness if you don't watch them closely. You don't get to choose the ingredients that go into your family, but you can decide how to manage the heat. Sometimes, it's best to turn down the flame when things get too intense, to give space for everyone to cool down. Other times, you might need to stir things up a bit to keep the pot from burning. But through it all, family remains the foundation you return to, even when the soup gets a little too salty. You can't change who your family is, but you can decide how much heat you're willing to handle and when to step away for your own peace of mind. Hard work is essential, but so is knowing when to rest. Life isn't a race to see who can work the hardest without stopping. It's a marathon that requires pacing. Think of it like baking bread. Yes, you need to knead the dough, apply effort, and give it the attention it needs, but after that, you must let it rest. Without that pause, the bread won't rise properly, and all your hard work will go to waste. The same goes for life. Pushing yourself relentlessly without taking breaks isn't sustainable. Even the most driven individuals need moments to step back, recharge, and regain perspective. Those who understand the balance between effort and rest are the ones who ultimately succeed. So don't just focus on grinding away. Make sure you're also giving yourself the downtime you need to grow and thrive. Money might not be able to buy happiness in the purest sense, but it sure helps to create a foundation for a more comfortable life. There's no shame in acknowledging that financial security brings a sense of peace and freedom that's hard to find without it. It's not about obsessively saving every penny, though. It's about striking a balance. Save for the future, yes, but also remember to enjoy the present. Sometimes, spending a little money on something that brings you joy, a dinner with friends, a weekend getaway, or that one item you've been eyeing, can bring a happiness that's worth far more than its price tag. Life isn't just about stockpiling wealth for a rainy day. It's also about using your resources to create moments that make the journey worthwhile. Money is a tool, not the end goal, and if used wisely, it can enhance your quality of life without defining it. Health is, without question, your most valuable asset. People often take it for granted when they're feeling good, but once it starts to slip away, you realize that everything else pales in comparison. It's like a sturdy roof over your head. You don't think about it much until there's a leak. By then, It's often too late to make quick fixes. That's why it's so important to take care of your health now, before you're forced to appreciate it under duress. Exercise, eat well, rest, and check in with your body regularly. Your health is the foundation for everything else in life, and once it begins to deteriorate, no amount of money or success can replace it. It's like those reading glasses you never think about until you misplace them, and suddenly, everything becomes harder without them. Take care of yourself today so that you don't spend tomorrow wishing you had. Time is the single most precious resource you have, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. Unlike money, you can't earn more time. It's finite, and every moment that passes is one you'll never see again. That's why it's so important to guard your time carefully. Don't waste it on things that drain you, like toxic relationships or pointless drama. Life is far too short to spend on things or people who don't add value to your world. As Grandma always says, time is the one thing you can't afford to lose. So spend it wisely, on the people who matter, the experiences that enrich your life, and the goals that bring you fulfillment. Every second counts, and the way you choose to spend your time today shapes the life you'll live tomorrow. Wisdom isn't measured by how much you know, but by how deeply you understand life and how you apply that understanding to your daily actions. It's not about the number of books you've read or how many degrees you've earned. It's about how often you can take what you've learned and use it to make better choices, improve your relationships, or help others. Knowing a lot without truly grasping its meaning is like having a map, but never taking the journey. True wisdom is the ability to take knowledge and transform it into action, to use your insights to navigate challenges, make thoughtful decisions, and inspire others. It's not just about learning for the sake of learning, but about living in a way that reflects the lessons life has taught you. Don't settle for being someone who knows a lot. Strive to be someone who embodies understanding, compassion, and the practical application of all you've learned. Happiness isn't a prize waiting for you at the finish line. It's something you can discover every step of the way. Many people make the mistake of thinking that happiness will come when they achieve certain goals, when they land the perfect job, find the right partner, or reach a specific milestone. But this way of thinking only leaves you constantly chasing an elusive dream, always waiting for the next big thing to bring fulfillment. The truth is, happiness can be found in the simple moments along your journey, in the quiet mornings, the laughter with friends, the satisfaction of a job well done. It's in the everyday experiences that often go unnoticed because we're too focused on the future. Don't let your life pass you by as you wait for happiness to come after you've achieved everything you think you need. Instead, embrace the present, find joy in the small moments, and recognize that happiness is less about reaching a final destination and more about how you choose to live each day. Optimism is like sunlight breaking through the clouds on a stormy day. It doesn't erase the storm, but it makes it easier to bear. When life feels overwhelming and full of challenges, optimism is the thing that allows you to see beyond the immediate obstacles and believe that better days are coming. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending that problems don't exist. It's about choosing to focus on solutions rather than staying stuck in the difficulties. Like oil lubricating the rusty gears of a machine, optimism helps life move more smoothly, making tough times feel a little lighter and giving you the strength to push forward when giving up seems easier. It doesn't fix everything instantly, but over time, it changes your perspective, allowing you to approach life's challenges with resilience and hope. Secrets, much like spices in a recipe, can add intrigue and flavor to life, but too many can leave things bitter and hard to swallow. Some secrets are harmless, small pieces of personal history that you keep close to your chest, adding a layer of mystery to who you are. But when secrets pile up, they become heavy, weighing down relationships and creating walls between people. Just like adding too much garlic can overwhelm a dish, too many secrets can destroy trust and make it impossible to feel truly connected to others. The key is balance, knowing when to keep things private and when to be open. Life, like a well-cooked meal, is better when shared, but there are some flavors best kept subtle. Trust that the right people in your life will appreciate you for who you are, secrets and all, but don't let those secrets poison the relationships you value most. Promises are like seeds planted in a garden. They start off small and easy, but they need care and attention to grow into something strong and lasting. Making a promise is the easy part. Keeping it requires dedication, consistency, and often a bit of sacrifice. It's tempting to make promises in the heat of the moment, when your intentions are good and everything feels possible. But the real challenge comes in following through when things get tough. A promise is more than just words. It's a commitment, a bond of trust that needs to be nurtured over time. Just like a plant left unwatered will wither and die, a promise that isn't honored will eventually break, leaving behind disappointment and broken trust. If you want your promises to mean something, tend to them like you would a garden, with care, patience, and intention. Over time, they'll grow into something beautiful and enduring, a testament to your integrity and reliability. Patience is more than just waiting for things to happen. It's an active process, a skill that teaches you to endure, grow, and find peace in the present moment. In a world that constantly demands instant results, patience reminds you that not everything worth having comes quickly. It's like planting a tree. You don't expect it to grow overnight, but with time, care, and persistence, it will blossom into something strong and lasting. Patience teaches you to appreciate the process, to find value in the journey rather than rushing to the end. It also teaches you humility, reminding you that you don't control everything in life and that some things are simply out of your hands. But in the waiting, you grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for whatever is to come. Good things often take time, and patience helps you endure the wait with grace, knowing that when the right moment comes, all your effort and resilience will be worth it. Optimism is like a lighthouse in a stormy sea. It doesn't stop the waves from crashing, nor does it calm the winds, but it gives you something steady to focus on, a beacon of hope that keeps you from being lost in the chaos. When life feels overwhelming, optimism doesn't erase the difficulties, but it helps you navigate them. It keeps your head above water, guiding you through the darkness toward calmer days. Optimism is the belief that no matter how bad the storm, the sun will rise again, and that belief gives you the strength to keep going. Secrets, much like the wind, are hard to contain. You may think you have them tucked away safely, but they always find a way to slip through the cracks when you least expect it. No matter how carefully you guard them, secrets have a way of revealing themselves. The more you try to hide them, the more they build pressure, like steam in a sealed pot. Eventually, they will escape, and when they do, they often cause more damage than if you had just let the truth come out in the first place. Secrets can create distance between people, sowing mistrust and misunderstanding, and once they're out in the open, they can't be taken back. Patience is like a tree growing in the forest. It doesn't grow overnight. It takes years of quiet, steady persistence to reach its full height. You can't rush it, and there are no shortcuts. Just like a tree that slowly stretches its branches toward the sky, patience is something you cultivate over time. It teaches you to embrace the process rather than focus solely on the end result. When you practice patience, you learn that not everything happens on your timetable, and that's okay. The more you nurture it, the more resilient you become, able to weather life's storms without breaking. In the end, patience rewards you with strength, wisdom, and a deeper understanding that some things are truly worth the wait. Respect is like a garden. It requires consistent care and attention to flourish. You can't demand respect, just as you can't force a plant to grow. It has to be earned through actions, nurtured through kindness, and sustained by trust. If you're careless and take respect for granted, it will wither, leaving behind only dried-up leaves of disappointment. But when you give it the care it deserves, respect blossoms into something beautiful, a mutual understanding that strengthens relationships and builds a solid foundation for trust and cooperation. Once lost, though, respect is hard to regain, much like a garden neglected for too long. It takes time and effort to rebuild, so don't waste it on things that don't matter. Pride is like seasoning in a dish, essential in small amounts, but dangerous when overdone. A little pride is necessary. It helps you stand tall, assert your boundaries, and acknowledge your accomplishments. Without any pride, you risk being walked over or losing sight of your own worth. However, too much pride can overpower everything else, making it hard to see past your own ego. When pride becomes the dominant flavor in your life, it blinds you to the needs of others and the lessons you still need to learn. Like salt in food, a balanced amount of pride enhances life, but an excess ruins the harmony, leaving a bitter taste behind. Dreams are like seeds, tiny and full of potential, but they need constant nurturing to grow into something real. You can't just plant a dream and hope it blooms on its own. It requires daily attention, care, and a willingness to put in the work. Just like a gardener tends to their plants, you must tend to your dreams. Feed them with action, water them with belief, and protect them from the weeds of doubt and fear. Without that dedication, even the most beautiful dreams will wither before they have the chance to take root. But if you commit to them, giving them the time and energy they need, your dreams will blossom into something far more incredible than you ever imagined. Promises are like fine glass sculptures, delicate, beautiful, but incredibly fragile. They're easy to make when emotions run high, but if you're not careful, they can break just as easily. A broken promise doesn't just shatter the trust between people, it leaves behind sharp edges that are hard to repair. Even when you try to put the pieces back together, the cracks remain visible, a reminder of what was once whole. That's why promises should never be made lightly. They require careful thought and an honest commitment to follow through, because once broken, even the strongest relationships can be left fractured and fragile. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Laziness is like a slow-growing vine, creeping unnoticed until it begins to choke the life out of everything around it. It starts small, with moments of procrastination and avoiding hard tasks, but over time, it spreads, taking root in every corner of your life. Before you know it, laziness has wrapped itself around your ambitions, your goals, and even your sense of self-worth. It may feel harmless in the beginning, but laziness eats away at your potential, robbing you of the energy and drive needed to move forward. The longer you let it grow, the harder it becomes to shake off. To combat it, you need consistent effort and a willingness to push yourself out of comfort and into action, or else laziness will slowly erode everything you've worked for. Humor is like a well-worn jacket that fits perfectly in every situation. No matter the occasion, a good sense of humor can make things a little lighter, a little brighter. It helps you navigate life's ups and downs with a smile, softening the blow of hardships and making the good moments even better. Humor bridges gaps between people, making tough conversations easier and bringing people closer together. It's a universal language, a way of saying, we're all in this together, no matter what challenges you're facing. And, just like a favorite jacket, humor never goes out of style. Its ability to bring warmth and comfort is timeless. Intelligence is like a masterfully written novel. Some people will appreciate its depth, while others might miss the point entirely. Intelligence isn't about showing off how much you know or proving you're the smartest person in the room. It's about understanding nuance, seeing the bigger picture, and knowing when to share your insights. Like a great joke that only a few people truly understand, intelligence can sometimes go unnoticed or unappreciated by those who aren't paying attention. But for those who value it, intelligence is a treasure, something that adds richness and complexity to conversations and ideas. It's not about being understood by everyone. It's about making a lasting impression on those who are willing to listen and engage with the deeper layers of thought. Hope is like a flickering candle in a dark room. It may be small and fragile at times, but even the slightest glow can pierce through the thickest darkness. Hope doesn't eliminate challenges or magically solve problems, but it offers light, however faint, to guide you through the tough moments. It's always there, even when it seems to dim, waiting to be reignited. Life may cloud your hope with setbacks or disappointment, but like the sun hidden behind thick clouds, hope will always find a way to shine again if you hold on to it. It reminds you that even in your darkest hours, better days are ahead, and every struggle is temporary. Opportunities are much like the tides of the ocean, constantly coming and going. Sometimes they arrive in a rush, like a strong wave, and sometimes they seem to trickle in slowly, almost unnoticed. But just like the tides, opportunities are always recurring. If you miss one, it's not the end of your chances. It's simply a pause before the next one rolls in. Timing is key, though. You must be patient, watching the horizon, ready to seize the next opportunity when it comes. Just because you missed one doesn't mean you'll never get another shot, but you have to be prepared when the next one arrives. Life always gives you another chance, and even when doors close, windows often open. Regret is like a heavy suitcase that you drag with you from place to place. It weighs you down with every step, making your journey feel slower and harder than it needs to be. But unlike actual luggage, regret holds no useful items. It's filled with missed opportunities, past mistakes, and what-ifs that do nothing but keep you anchored in the past. The longer you carry it, the more exhausted you become. But here's the thing, you can choose to set that suitcase down at any moment. You don't need to keep hauling it. Leave it by the roadside, free yourself of its weight, and walk forward lighter, with your hands open for new experiences. The past can't be changed, but the future is yours to shape, and you'll go much further without regret slowing you down. Creativity is like an expansive garden, full of potential beauty and growth, but it needs constant care and attention. If left unattended, weeds of self-doubt, laziness, or fear will take over, choking out the vibrant ideas that could have bloomed. Just like you can't expect a garden to thrive on its own, you can't expect creativity to flourish without effort. You must plant seeds of inspiration, water them with curiosity, and prune away anything that hinders growth. The more you tend to it, the more creativity grows, spreading across your life and bearing fruits in ways you may not even anticipate. But without that attention, it stagnates, and you're left with a field of missed potential. Courage is like the wings of a bird. It may feel unfamiliar at first, but once you trust in it, it takes you to heights you never thought possible. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice telling you to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. It's what allows you to step into the unknown, to face challenges head-on, even when the outcome is uncertain. Courage takes you to new places, opening doors to experiences and opportunities you never imagined you'd encounter. Just like a sturdy pair of shoes helps you travel far, courage propels you through life's roughest terrain, carrying you forward when fear would otherwise hold you back. Trust is like a fragile thread, strong when it's whole, but easily frayed and difficult to repair once broken. When trust is given, it's a gift, a bond that can strengthen over time with care and consistency. But when it's betrayed, that bond snaps, and even if you manage to tie the ends together again, the knot remains, a permanent reminder of the break. Trust can be rebuilt, but it's never quite the same. It's always tinged with the memory of what once went wrong. That's why trust should be handled with the utmost care. It takes time to earn but can be lost in an instant, and regaining it is an uphill climb that requires even more effort than before. Honesty is like a compass that always points you in the right direction, even when the path is difficult. It doesn't make the journey any shorter or less challenging, but it keeps you on course toward what's real and true. Honesty is your guide through the confusion and temptations of life, ensuring that you remain aligned with your values and integrity. It's not always the easiest route to follow, but it's the one that leads to lasting peace and fulfillment. When you stray from honesty, you risk losing your way, becoming entangled in lies or deceit. But when you stay true, no matter how hard the road, you'll always find yourself headed in the right direction. Success is like a well-prepared feast. It's much more enjoyable when shared with others. Achieving your own goals is wonderful, but the true joy of success comes from bringing others along for the journey and celebrating together. Just as food tastes better when enjoyed with friends and family, success feels more meaningful when you can share it with the people who supported you along the way. It's not just about reaching the top alone, but about lifting others up with you and creating a sense of collective achievement. Success is sweetest when it's not just yours, but something that brightens the lives of those around you. Gratitude is like a warm fire. It radiates outward, warming not only you but everyone around you. The more you express gratitude, the more it spreads, creating a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about recognizing the good in your life and appreciating it fully. And the beautiful thing about gratitude is that the more you give, the more you receive. When you focus on what you have, rather than what you lack, your whole perspective shifts, and you find joy in the simplest things. Gratitude, like fire, can illuminate even the darkest moments, turning what you have into more than enough and spreading warmth to everyone you encounter. Patience is often praised as one of the most important virtues, teaching us to endure delays, setbacks, and challenges without becoming frustrated or anxious. It allows us to take life's inevitable obstacles in stride and fosters resilience. But while patience is key, punctuality holds its own significant value, especially in our fast-paced world. Punctuality is a sign of respect, not only for others but for yourself and your commitments. It reflects discipline and reliability. While patience helps you manage waiting and unforeseen delays with grace, punctuality ensures that you honor your time and the time of others. Mastering both creates a balance that can lead to success in both personal relationships and professional endeavors. You need patience to handle the challenges that come your way, but punctuality shows that you are serious about meeting those challenges head-on, on time, and with preparation. Curiosity is a double-edged sword, much like a loaded trigger. It can open doors to some of life's greatest discoveries and personal growth, leading you down paths that reveal new knowledge and deeper understanding. Curiosity drives innovation, sparks creativity, and keeps you engaged with the world. However, like that trigger, it can also lead to unexpected trouble if not guided carefully. When curiosity is unchecked, it can cause you to leap before you look, venturing into situations you may not be prepared for or taking risks without considering the consequences. Curiosity is essential for growth, but it must be paired with wisdom and caution. When wielded thoughtfully, it has the power to take you beyond your limits, pushing you toward new experiences and revelations. But left unchecked, it can lead you down paths that you might later regret. Balance your curiosity with mindfulness, and you can explore the unknown while staying grounded. Self-love is like tending to a plant that requires constant care, attention, and nurturing to thrive. You can't expect a plant to grow and flourish if you neglect it, and the same is true for yourself. Self-love is more than just the occasional indulgence. It's about fostering a deep sense of respect and care for yourself in every aspect of life. It's about learning to prioritize your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, understanding that you are worthy of the time and energy it takes to maintain a healthy, happy, and fulfilled life. Self-love means setting boundaries, forgiving yourself for past mistakes, and recognizing your worth even when the world might make you feel otherwise. It's a practice that takes time, but with consistent care, it allows you to grow stronger and more resilient, better able to face life's challenges and maintain fulfilling relationships. When it comes to intimate relationships, physical acts often carry a much deeper significance beyond the surface. If a woman demonstrates incredible control over her muscles during intimacy, as described, it's not merely about physical skill. That level of control and mastery reflects something much deeper: discipline, focus, and a strong connection to her own body. These qualities are essential not just in physical relationships but in life as a whole. To master one's body requires dedication, mindfulness, and a certain degree of self-awareness, all of which translate into emotional and mental discipline as well. This is something to admire, not only for the physical aspect but for what it reveals about her character. Such control reflects a life lived with intention and purpose, qualities that can inspire both partners to strive for self-improvement. Physical intimacy in relationships is one of the most powerful ways to communicate without words. It's a language that goes beyond the surface, building a bridge between two people that strengthens trust, vulnerability, and connection. When she surprises you with her skill, it's a reminder that there is always more to discover in your relationship, both physically and emotionally. Every intimate moment is an opportunity to learn more about each other, to grow together, and to explore new ways of expressing love, care, and respect. This physical act can serve as a metaphor for the entire relationship, a reminder that, just as in sex, in life you must continue to explore and deepen your connection to one another. It opens the door for conversations about growth, trust, and how you can continue to surprise and delight each other both in and out of the bedroom. Beyond the physical, this moment of intimacy is an invitation to think about how you can build on the discipline she's demonstrated. Whether it's about improving your physical health, honing a skill, or developing emotional resilience, Her control over her body can inspire you to find areas of your life where you can strive for better balance and mastery. Physical acts in a relationship are often windows into deeper aspects of life: discipline, trust, communication, and connection. By recognizing and appreciating the layers beneath the surface, you can grow both as individuals and as a couple. Use this moment as an opportunity to reflect on your own areas for growth and to strengthen the emotional and physical bond that ties you together. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Ultimately, relationships are built on a foundation of shared growth, mutual respect, and continuous discovery. Whether through physical connection or emotional vulnerability, the goal is to keep exploring, learning, and evolving together. Intimacy is a multifaceted aspect of relationships, much deeper and more profound than physical or sexual connection. At its core, intimacy is about trust, vulnerability, emotional safety, and mutual exploration. It involves letting your guard down, showing your true self, and creating a space where both partners can be completely authentic without fear of judgment. It's the ability to share your deepest fears, insecurities, dreams, and joys with another person, knowing they will honor and respect those parts of you. Sexual intimacy is just one form of this connection, but real intimacy is built on a foundation of emotional closeness and trust that goes far beyond the physical realm. When your partner engages in a gesture that demonstrates physical mastery or a particular skill, such as the example you mentioned, it's often much more than an act of physical prowess. It symbolizes a level of comfort, confidence, and trust in the relationship. By sharing this part of herself with you, she's not just expressing her physicality. She's opening up in a vulnerable way, revealing her confidence in the relationship and her trust in you. This level of trust is a powerful indicator of how secure she feels with you and how deeply she values the bond you share. Intimacy, in this context, becomes a way of communicating without words, where her actions speak volumes about her sense of safety, love, and emotional connection. When someone feels safe and accepted in a relationship, they are more likely to express themselves fully, emotionally, intellectually, and physically. This is a significant marker of a healthy, thriving partnership. Physical gestures like this one are a reflection of deeper, emotional trust, and it's important to respond to that trust with equal appreciation, care, and understanding. Building and maintaining intimacy in a relationship requires consistent effort and attention. Trust, the foundation of all intimacy, is something that grows over time but can be fragile if not nurtured properly. It involves being there for each other not only in moments of joy but also during times of hardship, disappointment, or uncertainty. When your partner demonstrates her trust through intimate gestures, it's crucial to respond with gratitude and reciprocity. This means showing her, not just through words, but through actions, that you recognize the depth of what she's offering you and that you value and respect her vulnerability. It's essential to understand that intimacy doesn't end when the physical act does. It continues in the small moments, the quiet exchanges of affection, the ways you communicate and support each other in daily life, the trust you build through consistent presence and emotional availability. Consider how you can express your love and appreciation beyond physical connection. How can you make her feel cherished and valued in the everyday routines of life? Maybe it's through little gestures, like taking the time to ask her about her day, or perhaps it's by offering emotional support when she needs it most. Even something as simple as a kind word or a thoughtful gesture can reinforce the bond you share. Intimacy is a dynamic force in a relationship that evolves and deepens with time. It's important to remember that it's not something you achieve once and then forget about. It's a continuous process of growing closer, learning about each other, and nurturing the emotional bond. As you explore new ways to connect, both physically and emotionally, you'll discover layers of your relationship that might surprise you. There's always more to learn about each other, and the beauty of intimacy is that it allows you to keep discovering new ways to love, support, and understand one another. Moreover, intimacy is about mutual respect and communication. It's not just about physical closeness, but also about feeling emotionally attuned to each other's needs. By being emotionally available and receptive, you create a safe space where both partners can express their desires, fears, and feelings. This emotional openness allows both of you to grow individually and as a couple, as you learn to navigate the complexities of your relationship with care and understanding. Additionally, reciprocity is key to deepening intimacy. When she opens up to you in such a vulnerable way, it's essential that you reciprocate, not only by appreciating her gestures but by showing your own vulnerability and trust. This can be through sharing your own feelings, dreams, or even insecurities. Letting her know that you, too, feel safe and secure in the relationship strengthens the emotional foundation you're building together. To cultivate this level of intimacy, think beyond the physical. How can you strengthen your emotional bond daily? How can you continuously communicate love, support, and understanding in ways that go beyond words? It's in the way you show up for each other consistently, how you handle conflict with respect, and how you make each other feel valued. Ultimately, intimacy is a dance of trust, vulnerability, and ongoing discovery. It's about showing your partner that you see them, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. The beauty of intimacy lies in its ability to make you feel connected at the deepest level, to make you feel understood and valued in ways that go far beyond the surface. As you continue to build this connection, remember that it's the small, everyday moments of love and support that keep the bond alive and strong. Finally, the effort she puts into keeping the spark alive in your relationship is something that should not only be noticed but also deeply appreciated. This is her way of showing commitment, and it should inspire you to match that energy and initiative. In any relationship, both partners must actively work to prevent the monotony of daily routines from dulling the excitement and passion that once brought them together. Over time, without conscious effort, even the strongest connections can become stagnant. Passion, romance, and intimacy require continuous attention and nurturing. The fact that she is actively contributing to maintaining this spark means she deeply values the relationship and wants it to thrive, and that should encourage you to reciprocate by keeping things exciting, fresh, and full of love. Routine can be comforting in many aspects of life, but it's the enemy of romance and excitement. Settling into daily habits and routines can be necessary for managing responsibilities, but when it comes to romance, complacency can lead to a slow fading of the intimacy that once burned brightly between you. It's crucial to understand that effort in love doesn't stop after the initial stages of a relationship. If anything, it becomes more important over time. You don't have to wait for anniversaries or special occasions to show her how much she means to you. Surprise her with small, thoughtful gestures, a handwritten note left somewhere unexpected, a spontaneous date to a new restaurant, or simply planning an evening that's all about her. The key to maintaining passion is to keep the element of surprise alive. Routine might offer security, but spontaneity keeps excitement in the relationship. Plan an adventure that neither of you have done before, like taking a cooking class together, going hiking, or visiting a place that holds significance for your relationship. Breaking out of the daily grind to share new experiences with each other helps to create lasting memories and reinforces the emotional connection that keeps a relationship strong. Even learning something new as individuals can bring fresh energy into your dynamic, as growth on a personal level often enhances what you bring to your relationship. Beyond the physical side of intimacy, the emotional bond that you share needs constant attention. Take time to reflect on what really makes her feel loved and valued, because every individual has their own unique love language. For some, it's words of affirmation. For others, it's quality time or acts of service. Discover what makes her feel truly cherished, and make it a point to express your love in that way regularly. The small, everyday moments of showing love are often what matter most. A kind word at the right time, offering to help when she's overwhelmed, or simply being there to listen can strengthen the emotional bond that serves as the foundation for deeper intimacy. True intimacy is about more than just physical connection. It's about fostering an environment where both of you feel safe, understood, and appreciated. It's about making sure she knows that you see her, not just as your partner in a romantic or physical sense, but as an individual with her own dreams, goals, and struggles. Celebrate her successes, comfort her when she's down, and share in the everyday victories and challenges. Relationships are about partnership, and the deeper the emotional investment, the more satisfying every other aspect of the relationship becomes, including the physical. Additionally, communication is the lifeblood of any thriving relationship. Don't just wait for the big conversations to happen. Make time to check in regularly, even when things seem to be going smoothly. Ask her how she's feeling about the relationship, about her life, about her dreams. Show that you are genuinely interested in her inner world. This not only helps you stay connected emotionally, but also builds trust and openness. When she knows that you're fully present, both in good times and in challenges, it strengthens the overall bond between you. When you work together to keep the passion alive, both partners feel appreciated and valued. And importantly, this commitment to sustaining the relationship extends beyond physical affection. It's about finding joy in each other's presence and creating a safe, loving space where you both can be your authentic selves. Don't let routine become the default. Infuse your relationship with moments of joy, creativity, and affection, so that it remains a vibrant part of your lives, even as the years pass. If she demonstrates that she is willing to put in the effort to keep your relationship exciting, take this as an opportunity to reflect on how you can contribute as well. Ask yourself, how can I show her more appreciation? How can I create more excitement and joy in our relationship? What more can I do to deepen our connection, both physically and emotionally? Consider these questions as a way to grow not only in the relationship, but also as an individual. Strong relationships are built on mutual growth, and both partners must be invested in becoming better for each other. In summary, her efforts to keep the spark alive should inspire you to take action as well. Whether through small gestures, regular emotional check-ins, or surprising each other with new experiences, the goal is to keep the relationship dynamic and ever-growing. A thriving relationship is built on more than just initial passion. It's sustained through continuous love, effort, and a shared desire to evolve together. The fact that she's actively keeping your intimate life vibrant is a reminder of how important it is to consistently nurture the relationship. Take this as a call to action to reflect on what you can do to keep passion, trust, and love alive, and to ensure that both of you continue to grow as a couple. I hope you found this video insightful and filled with ideas that can help you strengthen your relationships. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, Wise Old Age, for more thoughtful and inspiring content on relationships, personal growth, and navigating life with wisdom. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below and share your own experiences. What do you do to keep your relationships vibrant and exciting? How do you navigate the balance between routine and passion? Let's continue the conversation and learn from each other's insights. What have you learned from this video so far? What piece of wisdom will you take and put into practice in your own life? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and share the one lesson that resonated with you the most. If you liked this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's continue to grow and inspire each other.